Welcome to the Master Conspiracy Channel. I created this channel to help like-minded people research things that normal people seem to disregard. I will be giving my interpretations on many different subjects that might turn out to be incorrect, or it might be deemed to have some weight to the matter. Regardless, please feel free to follow along. I would also like to ask you to subscribe to this channel and click the notification bell to be notified when I post a new video. With that being said, pull up a chair, grab a cup of coffee, and let's get to it. The Georgia Guidestones are a granite monument erected in 1980 in Elbert County, Georgia, in the United States. A set of 10 guidelines is inscribed on the structure in 8 modern languages, and a shorter message is inscribed at the top of the structure in 4 ancient language scripts. One slab stands in the center, with 4 arranged around it. A capstone lies on top of the 5 slabs, which are astronomically aligned. An additional stone tablet, which is set in the ground a short distance to the west of the structure, provides some notes on the history and purpose of the Guidestones. The structure is sometimes referred to as an American Stonehenge. The monument is 19 feet 3 inches tall, made from 6 granite slabs, weighing 237,746 pounds total weight of all the stones combined. The anonymity of the Guidestones authors and their apparent advocacy of population control, eugenics, and internationalism have made them a target for controversy and conspiracy theories. In June 1979, a man using the pseudonym Robert C. Christian approached the Elberton Granite Finishing Company on behalf of a small group of loyal Americans and commissioned the structure. Christian explained that the stones would function as a compass, calendar, and clock, and should be able to be capable of withstanding catastrophic events. Joe Finley of Elberton Granite assumed that Christian was a nut and attempted to discourage him by giving a quote several times higher than any project the company had taken, explaining that the Guidestones would require additional tools and consultants. Christian accepted the quote. When arranging payment, Christian explained that he represented a group which had been planning the Guidestones for 20 years and which intended to remain anonymous. Christian delivered a scale model of the Guidestones and 10 pages of specifications. The 5-acre land was apparently purchased by Christian on October 1st of 1979 from farm owner Wayne Mullinex. Mullinex and his children were given lifetime cattle grazing rights on the Guidestone site. The monument was unveiled on March 22nd of 1980 before an audience variously described as either 100 or 400 people. Christian later transferred ownership of the land and the Guidestones to Elbert County. And as far as Joe Finley was concerned, he was sworn to secrecy, never to reveal who exactly commissioned the building and erecting of the Georgia Guidestones. Now that we have gotten the history of the Georgia Guidestones out of the way, what exactly are they? Well, the Guidestones are a message consisting of a set of 10 guidelines or principles engraved on the Georgia Guidestones in 8 different languages, 1 language on each face of the 4 large upright stones. Moving clockwise around the structure from due north, these languages are English, Spanish, Swahili, Hindi, Hebrew, Arabic, traditional Chinese, and Russian. The 10 messages in each language are as follows, and I will give my explanation of each. Number 1, maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. At the time of the erection of the stones, the world population was 4.439 billion. That's billion with a B. A lot more than the 500 million that was set on the stone. It was believed that a catastrophic event would wipe out most of the world's population after the erection of the stones. Hence the reason the stones were erected in the first place. If you were alive in the early 80s, you should be aware that there was a great concern with nuclear war. So I believe, in my honest opinion, that is why the stones were constructed and erected. Number 2, guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. This is an obvious reference to guided reproduction. I don't know about you, but I don't want someone telling me who I can or cannot have a child with. In essence, this is doing away with all forms of love and replacing it with a duty to perpetuate the human race. Number 3, unite humanity with a living new language. In the Bible, there was a scripture pointing to the erection of the Tower of Babel. In Genesis 11, verses 1 through 9, it tells us of a group of people who attempted to erect a tower that would reach to heaven. God saw the folly that humans were trying to accomplish and changed the outcome. I will read to you verses 1 through 9 now in Genesis 11. Now the whole world had one language and a common speech. As people moved eastward, they found a plain in Shinar and settled there. They said to each other, "Come, let's make bricks and bake them thoroughly." They used brick instead of stone and tar for mortar. Then they said, "Come, let us build ourselves a city, with a tower that reaches to the heavens, so that we may make a name for ourselves. Otherwise we will be scattered over the face of the whole earth." But the Lord came down to see the city and the tower the people were building. The Lord said, "If as one people speaking the same language they have begun to do this, then nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them. Come, let us go down and confuse their language so they will not understand each other." So the Lord scattered them from there all over the earth, and they stopped building the city. In this rule, they are stating that humanity should reunite under a new language, thereby bypassing the lesson that God was trying to teach us. And, by the way, there is one language that does unite all beings on this planet already: math and numbers. Number 4, rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. This again shows that the people who erected these stones value knowledge above all else. Removal of all things that make humans human. Number 5, protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. This is what we're trying to do now, actually, and have been trying to do this for a very long time. The problem is the law will not fit everyone because the human condition will provide different understanding of the law in almost every situation. Number 6, let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. This is what the UN does right now. However, number 7 states, avoid petty laws and useless officials. Out of all of these rules, I actually agree with this one. Let's take the United States tax code as an example. If you were to download the Internal Revenue Code from the United States Code, also known as Title 26, and the document is 6,550 pages long. The word count of the tax code has grown from 1.395 million, with an M, million words in 2001 to 3.7 million words, when the report was completed. That is a 265% growth in word count in just over 7 years. I am sure that there are some useless laws in there. And as far as useless officials are concerned, it doesn't take a scientist to understand that there are some pretty useless personnel in government positions today. Number 8, balance personal rights with social duties. Socialism, anyone? Personal rights should always, I repeat, always outweigh social duties. Social duties is also known as social responsibilities and are defined as the obligation of an organization's or individual's management towards the welfare and interest of the society in which they operate. You start telling people what they can and cannot do, and you will not have an easy time of it. I will point to the Declaration of Independence of the United States of America. America was founded because of its desire to not be governed by an overbearing monarch. Number 9, prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. These are all things that honestly depend on your point of view. And finally, number 10, be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. This goes right back to rule number 1, and they even state the importance of this by giving the last statement twice. Although I do not believe in being a 100% consumer, you should not give up all that you are for nature either. Live in conjunction with nature. Respect it. Love it. But don't let it dictate everything that you do. Now let's move to some physical characteristics of the granite slabs. On the left side of the tablet is the following column of text. Astronomic features. 1. Channel through stone indicates celestial pole. 2. Horizontal slot indicates annual travel of the sun. 3. Sunbeam through capstone marks noontime throughout the year. Author, R.C. Christian. Sponsors, a small group of Americans who seek the age of reason. Keep that in mind. We'll come back to that. Time capsule. Place 6 feet below this spot on blank. To be opened on also blank. The words appear as shown under the time capsule heading. No dates are engraved on it, so it might indicate that there is no time capsule left behind. I believe it might have been left unburied because the persons responsible decided to not leave a time capsule for fear of someone discovering in the future who was responsible for the erection of the stones. There is a belief, and I do believe in this as well, that some practitioners of the Rosicrucian Order financed the project. Since Rosicrucian translates to Rose Cross, and since Rose Cross Christian, aka Christian Rosenkreutz, was the founder of the mystical society of the Rosicrucian Order, many suspect that the Rosicrucians were behind the financing of the building of the Georgia Guidestones. Let's see what information there is concerning the Rosicrucian Order. During my digging on the interwebs, I was able to locate a website, www.rosicrucian.org. I was able to look over this website, and although it does not give a definitive date of when the order began, the people on the site state that the earliest documentation goes back to the 1600s. But the beliefs are tied to practitioners of mysticism go back thousands of years. So in their words, although the order was established in the 1600s, they really are older than Christianity, according to them. And although the order uses the rose and the cross as their symbol, they are anything but Christians. Their belief system follows more closely to Buddhism than Christianity. I'm not saying that they are bad, just that in my opinion, their belief system is incorrect. And through my research, I do believe that the Rosicrucians' belief system is why the Georgia Guidestones were created. I believe that the 10 messages that are written in different languages on the Guidestones directly impart the beliefs of the Rosicrucians. But due to the secrecy with which the Georgia Guidestones were constructed, we really can't say for sure. It is interesting and disturbing, the 10 rules that are still listed on the stones. For now, the mystery is still unsolved, and perhaps we will never know. Thank you for listening to the Master Conspiracy Channel. If you enjoyed what you heard today, please click the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you may be alerted when I post a new video. I do try to post a new video every Saturday. Until then, please know that the truth is out there.